Aren't heading to Cancun for vacation as much as they used to. The U.S. Department of Commerce's International Trade Administration says that the number of American travelers flying nonstop to Cancun has fallen. So joining me now here in Studio 57 with more on this is Allison Pohl. She's a travel reporter for the Wall Street Journal who wrote this story. Good to see you.
Great to be here.
So they don't, what's up? Why don't they want to go to Cancun?
So travel executives are saying this is destination fatigue. People went to Cancun in droves in 2021 and 2022. So Mexico didn't require proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test. So it was really easy for people to go there. Now they kind of been there, done that, and they're going other places.
I can see that. I know we've been reporting that international flights have gone up as well, like more people. So I wonder if over the pandemic, people started to think about all the stuff on their bucket list that they weren't able to accomplish.
Exactly.
So destination fatigue, does that happen? Is that happening in other places as well?
It is. So if you look at other places in the U.S., for example, a lot of people were taking domestic trips, for example, going to mountain towns or going to certain beach destinations. Now we see people who save their money and are going to Europe. Maybe they weren't able to do that because of all the travel restrictions, so they're going elsewhere.
And so is it, for Cancun, is it just about destination fatigue, or, are people concerned about other things? As you know, we've done some stories in the news about things going wrong when you visit Cancun and some other places.
It is other things too. So safety is a concern. So Mexico's tourism board has said that security is a concern. The conversion value for the peso has gone up. So it's more expensive actually for people to go there, and it's not quite as good of a deal as it used to be. And so that means there's a lot of other factors that people are taking into account when they're choosing where to go.
So does that mean the prices are a little cheaper now if you want to go to Cancun?
It does. So airlines added a lot of routes because demand was so high, which means there is more competition. There are more flights there. So the cost of flights has gone down. And hotels are lowering prices too to attract people and make sure that they can visit.
And so where are people going if they're not going to Cancun?
A ton of people are going to Europe. That's something that we've all been talking about, but Japan and other parts of the Caribbean as well.
Interesting. I went to Japan this last week. I am one of those statistics, not this past spring, I should say. Allison, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
American travelers aren't heading to Cancun for vacation as much as they used to. The U.S. Department of Commerce's International...
All right, so you see what it is, my brothers. I don't want to play that video anymore on that screen, man, with the sound on, rather. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakah Kodash. And it says here, that this is basically, a judgment on this place, but also I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders and teachers at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. All right, my name is Brother Hawashai Zion. I'm going to talk about this article here. It says a 12-year-old boy was killed after gunmen on jet skis opened fire at a beach in Cancun, authorities said, marking another incident of deadly violence at a Mexican resort in recent years. So they're targeting tourists. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably know, you can't pop that shit off, in any places where people can fire back. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, it's these Americans, man. These Americans get caught up in this type of violence because, the cartels and stuff, they'll basically be posting up over at the tourist locations because they know they can move over there, kind of low key. But, hey, you get caught up in the crossfire because it says Mexican prosecutors said in the statement late Sunday that the gunmen were targeting a rival drug dealer on the beach after the barrage of bullets. Apparently, they were engaged in a dispute over drug sales. Okay. And really, those drugs that they're selling is pharmakia, and that's also against the law. This is the tribe of Issachar, primarily. And, selling drugs is definitely a sin. You know what I'm saying? That's transgression of the law for sure, because the person you're selling it to can overdose or, ultimately end up taking it and, causing their mental state to be altered, that is definitely conjuring up spirits, and that's against the law. So, yeah, the scriptures say, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So the Lord sends evil angels upon these people. It's open season on you. Your prayers are not being heard because you're not in compliance to the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So you're going to have to deal with the judgment that comes from that. And that's what happened right here. That's why you got to repent. You people out there, selling drugs, you think you're going to get away from that? Nah, man, the Lord is going to destroy your ass. So it says here, the boy, a local resident, was apparently lying on a lounge chair on the beach with his family when he was hit by stray bullets. It wasn't a stray bullet, man. That bullet was meant and ordained from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to hit him, because the scriptures talk about this, very vividly and very explicitly, okay? 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Now, they did take him to the hospital, bear in mind, but Deuteronomy 32:39 says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the one who just basically killed that little boy. Now, contrary to popular Christian belief, God doesn't kill anybody. God doesn't kill anybody. Okay, well, how did they take the land of Canaan then? How did Abraham take the land of Canaan? He didn't go negotiate, all right? He didn't go in there with a business plan. He didn't go in there with a business model and some money and say, hey, I would like to purchase the land of Canaan. I'm a millionaire. No, I'm a billionaire. I would like to purchase the land of Canaan. Nah, he went in there and he destroyed everybody. And the Lord said to kill everyone, leave nobody alive, okay? And that's just what it is, because it's ordained by the Lord. Now, you may not agree with it, but you don't need to agree with it, okay? Because the Lord said what? What do you say in the scriptures, man? Matter of fact, hold on, let me get this real quick. Job 5:18. For he maketh sore and bindeth up. He woundeth and his hands make whole. That's the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, everything is ordained of the Lord. So if the Lord ultimately wanted it to happen, then that's just what it's going to be. Okay? And there's nothing that you could do about it. But let me go back to the article. So it says, this is from El Universal. It says, it is sad, so sad that things like this these happen. The person close to the victim's family told Mexican newspaper El Universal. According to the newspaper, the shooting happened on Playa Caracol near the Rio Cancun Hotel. A hotel spokesperson told El Universal the victim was not staying at the hotel and that no guests were injured in the shooting. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It still puts a negative stigma on that place, and they're definitely going to lose business now due to that. Because people, when they go on vacations or they visit resorts, they definitely watch and look up the local news. If they're smart and have half a brain, they're going to check to make sure that there's no killings at that resort, in the last couple of months or so, definitely. If it happened like 7 years ago, hey, it could have been just an isolated incident, which this appears to be. But remember, the Lord has his hand in everything. And these people, you don't know what they did in their past lives. When you go to John 9, the first chapter, it clearly says that the disciples have, or really it clearly displays that the disciples had an understanding that things that you do in your past life ultimately can dictate what happens in your next one, as far as judgment's concerned, okay? I can just quickly go to that, just real quick. John 9:1. And as Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? Yahushua answered, Neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High should be made manifest in him. Okay, brothers? And that's powerful. He said, I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. So basically, the Lord is basically saying, and you brothers need to understand this too, we only have a certain amount of time to do the work of the Lord. So we can't waste it, okay? Only have a certain amount of time to do the work of the Lord. And those people who don't do the work of the Lord, they're going to be destroyed when the night cometh, man, when no man can work, when basically all is said and done. All right? When these however many lives it is that until the Lord Yahweh Shai returns, because the Lord's name is Yahweh Shai, not Jesus, first and foremost. Yah means he, Yahweh Shai means deliverer. But we only have a certain amount of time, a finite amount of time to do the work of the Lord before it's too late. And a lot of you people out there, you need to repent, lest you wind up like that kid, caught up in the so-called crossfire with a stray bullet, but the bullet was not stray. The bullet was not stray, man. Okay? This bullet was not stray. It says here, just back to the article, it says territorial disputes between drug dealers have cost the lives of several tourists in the resorts along Mexico's Caribbean coast in recent years. On May 10th, bodies were found scattered in the country's once glamorous resort city of Acapulco, which has been engulfed by violence linked to cartels, local security officials said. Yeah, see, because you think, hey, man, we're just laying on the beach. It's just a regular average day. And all of a sudden, man, the shots ring out and you on the newspaper for getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? This is, again, though, everything is back onto the Lord. So if you keep a good profile, so to speak, keep a low profile and you stay in the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you'll get mercy from the Lord. And if you don't, you're going to get judgment from the Lord. Okay? So, yeah, and that says now they're thinking twice from going to Cancun. But ultimately, you can't escape judgment. Anywhere you go, if you're doing wrong by the Lord, you are liable to get judgment. And that's another reason why you don't want to hang out with sinners. Because you really can't have acquaintance, like friends, I should say. You can have acquaintances, who may, because they serve a purpose, like somebody's like helping you with your car or something like that, and happen to kick it with them for a small period of time. That's different. You know what I mean? That's just keeping cool with the world. You have to, keep cool with them, but we not friends with the world, okay? We not friends with them, man. Not like they think, you know what I'm saying? Because ultimately a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And we're not trying to be destroyed and get caught up in the crossfire, man. All right, so hey, if this is your first time watching this channel, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Shalom.